Hello there. Welcome to episode number 10 of Frequency Readings. I am, of course, your host, and I am Michael. Today's reading, we're going to get back to doing people again. At least I'll do one on this episode. Today's reading was actually on Mel Gibson. He's an actor that I thought was interesting for many years. He definitely did some interesting films. Um, but what really started to intrigue me about Mel Gibson was that he got into trouble with Hollywood, of course, and through that he got dragged through the mud. It's interesting to me that when somebody, actor or actress in Hollywood steps out of line, they tend to start disparaging them with hookers and seedy character personality and just start denigrating them in general. And I've seen that happen a few times to a few actors. Jim Caviezel, of course, is one, and there's been a lot of others down through the years. But Mel Gibson, when that started to happen to him, was the one person that really stood out for me, and I started to question things. And the reason why I did was because my intuition was telling him that it was not so. So I did a reading on him just recently, of course, because after all these years, I kind of want to know myself. So here we go. Mel Gibson, then, the actor. Let's go through his reading now. So when he came into this realm, his birth frequency was actually 540, and 540, of course, is joy. So that's a healthy number. He came in quite well. He was very hopeful and very joyous about being here and what he was going to do in this world. His overall frequency, however, now is 600. So if you paid attention to previous readings I've done on people, it's unusual for us to get back up to our birth frequency, and it's very rare to go beyond that. And so, of course, here's Mel Gibson, who has gone beyond that. Now, at this point in time in the reading, that doesn't tell us a whole lot. He could be very dark, and these numbers could be very dark numbers. So there could be the negative aspects of, say, peace and joy. But my intuition, again, is telling me that that's not the case. So overall frequency, 600. His inner peace is 500, love. That's actually the same as his perception of reality, which is also 500 as well. So that's how he perceives his reality. That's where he's at within his inner realm. He is harmonious, and he's in a state of love. His overall health comes in at 600. That's also peace. His inner harmony is 400. That is a reason. His overall wholeness is again 600. That's again peace. So we're getting very good numbers here. He's looking very healthy and very positive, actually, as well. His finances are at the frequency of joy, so 540. His creativity is again at love, 500. His relationships are at peace, 600. So despite everything he's been through, how he's being dragged through the mud, his relationships are at 600. All these are high numbers. He's doing very well, despite what he's had to face in Hollywood. His personal growth is that of reason, 400. So he's coming at that intellectually, right? And understanding the process. His philanthropy is enlightened. It's 850. I don't know what that means in his personal life. I don't know if he's giving loads of money away to people or anything like that, uh, but I know he's operating at the level of enlightenment. So he's seeing the big picture, what he can do to help people the most. And maybe that's a reflection in the decisions he's made in Hollywood, the movies he's chose to do. Because I've found his movies very enlightening, very interesting perspectives on things. He's making us think. So could he be teaching us? It's an interesting thought. His intuition is at love, 500. And his anxiety is at courage. I can't imagine an actor in Hollywood not having anxiety to deal with. So he's at that level of courage with that. Just 1 second. I'm drinking my tea. So let's get into the percentage-based areas of his life now. His joy, as we can imagine, is 100%. He's enjoying what he's doing. His ego is at 45%. His superego is at 4%. That's not unhealthy. You know, you cannot operate in this world without ego. It's the superego that we want to make sure is low in the numbers. And that's very respectable, in my opinion. His present moment awareness, so his now, sense of now, is at 47%. That's not bad. His integrity is 87%. That's healthy as well. His self-awareness is 89%. Again, not bad going. His divine purpose is 80% and his personal purpose is 85%. Those numbers will just about always go relatively close to each other. So he's in the ballpark. He needs a little bit of help. His clarity of purpose, we can see, is at 76%. So because he was a little bit low on his divine purpose and his personal purpose, of course his clarity of purpose is going to be off, right? And I would put that down to what is he doing in his life that is missing the mark. And there's going to be something in there that is just going to be off a little bit. Something he could do a little bit more or better. I think he's coming into that though. His congruency is at 94%. Again, that's very good. His emotional maturity is excellent at 90%. He's doing very well with emotional maturity. So he's a person that you wouldn't mind hanging around with and seeing on a regular basis. He's not going to be up and down like a lot of people are, and especially a lot of people in Hollywood. His universal alignment, he's 100% aligned with the universe. So again, very good. He just needs to work on that clarity of purpose and defining what it is he is here to do. His dimensions, well, he's 80% of the time in the third dimension, 10% of the time in the fourth dimension, and 10% of the time in the fifth dimension. So he is multidimensional and he's jumping around between them. You know, so he's doing all right. He is an old soul. He's had 20 past lives. His crystal body is at 44%. It's probably a little bit higher now since I've done the reading. His DNA activation is actually at 80%. So he's been doing very well throughout his life. So as a Hollywood actor goes, he's something that, you know, he's another person that's worth following and worth watching and seeing what he's up to, because he's making a mark in the world and he's helping us to figure things out in the process. And I think that's part of his purpose, is he's there to show us, make us question things. And that's what a lot of his films have done over the years. So when it comes to Hollywood actors, I would watch a Mel Gibson movie for sure. And of course I'm talking about the more recent films. If you go back to Lethal Weapon and ones like that, I mean they were entertaining films and stuff like that. But I think most of us have grown beyond that level of entertainment now. I would hope. Okay, I am going to leave it at that right now. We're at 10.5 minutes here, so I'm going to leave it at that. And I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, stay out of fear, stay in love, and make good decisions every day. Take care, my friends. Bye.